All right, all right. We'll give some people time to get on in here. I decided to do an impromptu live. Kelly is going to be upset at me, probably. Like, well, you couldn't have told me that you were going to go live. We'll just have a little fun. You hear my little babies crying in the background. It is nighttime, and Caveman, is that you? Are you already in here? Let's see. All right. What do we have here? Is that you? Are you on here? Oh, okay. So you'll hear baby girl crying for a little bit. We'll get her. We'll get her. Come on in. I got some goodies for you. Figured it's Saturday. Come on in. I got some goodies for you. Figured it was Saturday. We can lay back a little bit. I might have to, if they can't quiet her down, I might have to kill this when I come back. Come on in. I got some goodies for you. KnowledgeWell. Come on in, Cooper. Yeah, round 2. You ready, Cooper the Trooper? Let's do this. Let's have some fun. I got some goodies for you. Some interesting stuff that you're going to like. Come on in. We'll let some people get on in here. What are you doing this Saturday evening, Cooper? All right. Come on in. Round 2 ready. We'll let some people get on in here. All right. Welcome. Like Cooper said, round 2. Yeah, we did our class for KnowledgeWell University earlier today at about 10 or 11 a.m. So if you haven't gotten involved in that class, you should. Cooper could probably attest to. Thank you, Cooper, for that. Loud and clear. He said we're coming in. I appreciate that. All right. So if you haven't enrolled in that KnowledgeWell University, you're missing a treat. I'm telling you, I'm really revealing lots of things, lots of questions I'm sure are being answered as far as, what the local guru is talking about, but maybe leaving some pieces out that people aren't able to understand or connect the dots with. So you're definitely able to find that here. So we don't pull any punches, and we come out fighting, right? So anyways, I just wanted to jump on here, have a little fun tonight. I did put some pieces together, put some things together that I'm sure you will find interesting. How many of you out there were raised in like a church setting or in some kind of faith? You can put your comments down below. I personally had been in it for pretty much since I was born, about 30 something years in it religiously, no pun intended. But, and I've come to kind of a new understanding on things. And this is kind of off the beaten path, just a little bit, not much, but you'll see how this correlates in with everything that we've here at KnowledgeWell that we've been alluding to, that we've been teaching and lecturing on. You're going to find that it crosses, and the reason why. If you've been watching, this is actually the third in the series that I've been doing on debt as a sin, and kind of like the different terminologies and the legal industry or the practitioners in the legal field and what that's really all about. So that's what we're going to actually be talking about tonight. So if you're watching this on replay and you got a comment, you can always hit us up at KnowledgeWell, the number 4, the letter U at gmail.com. And if you have any adverse positions or if you have any debates, hey, we welcome that too. I do diligent study, and I'm not really afraid to talk about it or tell the truth about what I find. So with that being said, we can get going. Koopa the Trooper said Southern Baptist. All right. I grew up more like a Pentecostal apostolic. So I'm out of Wisconsin. I went to the Christian school and what have you. So definitely going to be a controversial discussion. So if you have the heart and the guts to stick around, I'm sure if you were raised in any kind of a Christian background setting, this one should hit real close to home. So don't touch that dial. Stay tuned in. And we're going to share screen. I finally was able to figure this out. It's quite simple, actually. So let's see if I can get it going. Hit that like button for me, okay? And help me get past that algorithm and share this, especially if you have people that you tend to argue with when it comes to Christianity or a belief system or what have you. Trust me, you don't want them to miss this one, all right? So go ahead and share that. I'll give you a few moments. Go ahead and share that because this one's going to be hot. This one's going to be for the record books right here, all right? Make sure you share it. I'll give you a couple minutes to do that. Yosef, I got some goodies for you tonight, bro. You're going to like this. Thanks for tuning in. Everybody, thank you for tuning in. You could have been anywhere else, but you chose to be here, and I appreciate that. And that's right, caveman. We're going to put that fire down. This is going to be interesting. All right. It's all going to intertwine with everything that we've been learning. So hopefully everyone that's especially part of KnowledgeWell media is here to catch this. Otherwise, you'll catch it on replay. I like my stuff hot, though, and fresh, right? All right. So you'll have to excuse my daughters in the background. I did move my office over here, as you can see, but I got some walls coming up. I got some what are they called? The cubicles that should dampen some sound. Hopefully my wife will come down here. Hold on. I apologize. All right. We'll get going here. So, give me a minute here to pull up everything. So, you don't need to see that. You already know about that, right? All right. Let's get it going. Anybody heard of the Lord's Prayer? I'm sure you have. So I wanted to make sure I go to a bona fide source, and this is the Catechism of the Catholic Church, okay? All right. So part 4, Christian prayer, section 2, the Lord's Prayer, right? So we're going to take this piece by piece. Stay tuned. You're going to like this. So Jesus was praying at a certain place, And when he ceased, one of his disciples said to him, Lord, key phrase right there, key term. It's a legal term. I contend. I'll show you why. Teach us to pray, as John taught his disciples. In response to this request, the Lord entrusts, we know what trusts, anybody that's in that KnowledgeWell University, you know what trusts, right? Entrusts to his disciples and to his church, okay, the fundamental Christian prayer. All right. St. Luke presents a brief text of 5 petitions, while St. Matthew gives a more developed version of 7 petitions. The liturgical tradition of the church has retained St. Matthew's text. And here's St. Matthew's text. Here's the prayer. Our Father, you probably can repeat it with me, right? Who art in heaven. I'll read it through once, and then we'll go into breaking it down like you know I do. Hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. Now, anybody that's been following these series thus far, the key word there is trespass, right? We established what a trespass is. As we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation. Another key word. But deliver us from evil. All right, here we go. You ready for this? This is going to get exciting. So, our Father who art in heaven. I'm going to break it down line by line. You don't want to miss this. Trust me. This is the Lord's Prayer. All right. So check this out. Our Father. The question is, who is our? Well, if you look up here, it says that Jesus was praying. Okay. And he stopped praying. And then one of his disciples said to him, okay, so he has his disciples. A disciple is someone that's disciplined in the doctrine. This is good. You're not going to want to miss this. I promise you. All right. One of his disciples said to him, Lord, teach us to pray. Right. So now, supposedly, okay, so Jesus says, this is the way to pray, or the Lord said this is the way to pray, right? Our Father who art in heaven. So we're answering the question, who is our? Okay, so it would apply to anyone that calls himself a disciple, right? All right, you don't want to miss this. All right, so the disciples, Father, or anyone who was a follower of Jesus, right? Okay, here we go. Who is the Father? Now, I know I grew up in church, so Father was God, the Creator, what have you, right? It's deeper than that. Watch this. Our Father. Why Father? Here we go. Father. I'm over here at Edema Online, okay, where you can look at the derivative of words and how the words were created and what they mean. So if you read right here, I got it all the way down there. Father. Oh, sorry. Father. Old English. Fader or fodder. He who begets a child, right? Nearest male ancestor. So more importantly, he who begets a child. Sounds pretty plausible, right? Check this out. One who exercised parental care over another. Okay. I'll just pick out a few here. Father. Okay. Sanskrit. So we're getting into the ancient languages, right? Okay. I'm going to skip past this. Follow me here. Trust me, we're going somewhere with this. As a title, okay, of various church dignitaries like the Father in the Catholic Church, right? From circa 1300. Meaning, look at right here, creator, inventor, author. I want you to remember this is from mid 14th century. So creator, inventor, author. Remember, we're talking in relation to the Lord's Prayer, and we're breaking it down. Our being anyone who is a follower of this doctrine of Jesus or the Lord, our Father. So we're going to find out who these people are and who their Father is. And I'm going to prove it to you. Okay, so let's go back. Our Father. Why Father? Okay. I lost my highlight, but I did point out to you here, meaning creator, inventor, and author. Keep that in mind, okay? Now, a father, as we saw up here, he who begets a child. So whoever they're praying to and saying our Father has a child. That's why they're calling the Father, right? Okay, check this out. A child. Old English, child, fetus, unborn, newly born person, right? Here, we'll get to it. No certain cognates outside Germanic. Okay, apparently originally always used in relation to the mother. Okay, hold on. Young person before the onset of puberty, developed in late Old English, right? Phrase with, okay, let me see where I'm at. The sense extension from infant to child also is found in French. Look how they spelled it. Infant, Latin infans, meaning one's own child. Here, offspring of parents. So this father has an offspring, right? Okay. Late 12th century. Okay. You can see this word here, barren. Hold on real quick. A child and one's child. Okay. Let me see where I was at here. Children. All right. So you get the correlation. Okay. A father has a child. Let me see if there was, I think, make sure there wasn't one thing I'm looking for down here. No, that should be good. Okay. Now, our Father who art in heaven. Stay with me. We'll get going here. Now, is this the one I'm looking for? Okay. So, what I'm going to prove to you, okay, through these tabs and through this Edamon line, is that when it's talking about the Father, it's an obscure something or entity above, and the Son is actually, because a father has to have a child. Well, the child in this situation, I'm going to prove to you, is Jesus, right? But it gets deeper. Just stay with me. Okay? Okay? Because he's teaching them how to pray. And he's saying, our Father, okay, who art in heaven. So he's pointing somewhere. He's teaching them how to pray. Okay? Now, stay with me. These are all the scriptures that point to Jesus as the actual sun, not son, the sun, sun, like the light in the sky during the day. All right? Look at when Jesus spoke again to the people, he said, I am the light of the world, right? Denoting the sun, right? The light of the world is the sun. Look at, while I'm in the world, I am the light of the world. The light of the world is the sun, correct? Okay. The people living in darkness have seen a great light. This is Matthew 4:16. Okay. On those living in the land of the shadow of death, a light has dawned. Another, okay, it's denoting the sun, a light and a literal, okay. His face shone like the sun, Matthew 17:2. Okay, stay with me. You don't want to miss this. Through him all things were made, talking about the sun, S-U-N. Okay, without him, nothing was made that has been made. Without the sun, nothing would grow, right? In him was life, and the life was the light of men. What is the light of men? The sun. So I got all these scriptures here, okay? And all of these are pointing at who they call Jesus as the light. And it's the S-U-N, okay? I got a whole list of them here. I can share them with you later, but we're going to keep moving. So let's recap. You know how I like to do. We're reading the Lord's Prayer, okay? It says, our Father. Whose Father? Those who are disciples of what Jesus, the Son of God, the S-U-N of God, is teaching. So that would be their Father. They're praying to their Father. So let me ask you a question real quick. If Jesus is the S-U-N, the Son, then who or what is the Father or Creator? Remember, we went to Father, he who begets a child. So who begat the Son, the S-U-N? You'll get this in a minute. Stay with me. Stay with me. All right. So now, here we go. Who art in heaven? Now, ask yourself a question. Is the Son in the heaven? The S-U-N? So our Father, the one who begat the Son, who is in this scripture, Jesus, who's teaching his disciples or those who follow the Son, the S-U-N, Son worshipers, right? Helios, the Helios Biblios, the book of the Son, known as the Bible, the Holy Bible, the Helios Biblios. So the people who worship the Son are praying the Lord's Prayer. So stay with me, stay with me. Our Father, who art in heaven. Now, why in heaven? Let's look at heaven. Let's look at heaven. Man, we're about to kill it here. We're about to kill it. Stay with me. Look at Old English. Hefun. Okay. Home of God. Heaven is the home of God, right? That's what we all grew up believing, right? That grew up in the religious tenets, right? Well, where's the Son? The Son is in the heaven, right? Right? And so who's the Father of the Son? God, right? He gave his only begotten Son, the S-U-N, right? So heaven is the home of God. Because if Jesus or the Son is in the heavens, then his Father must be up there too, right? Follow me. Watch this. Heaven, home of God. Earlier, the visible sky. Okay, look at what this is going to get good. Firmament, probably from Proto-Germanic hibben, a dissimilation of himmen, source also of Low German heben, Old Norse himmen. This might seem like a redundancy. This might seem not like it's not that interesting, but this is going to be so key. Gothic hymens. Okay, check this out. It's going through the whole. Now look, German Himmel, heaven, sky. You're going to start to see the correlation between heaven and sky and why that rhymed. Listen, which is of uncertain disputed origin. Check this out. Perhaps it means literally a covering. The heaven, sky, is a covering. Check this out. From Proto-Indo-European, kem, which means to cover, which also has been proposed as the source of chemis. Watkins derives it elaborately from the Proto-Indo-European, ak, sharp, via, akmen, stone, sharp stone. Watch this. Then stony vault of heaven. Remember, this is talking about the heavens or the sky. Our Father, which art in the sky, or which art in the stony vault of heaven. Watch this. This is so cool right here. Look, the English word is attested from late 14th century as a heavenly place, a state of bliss. And yes, look at this word, a state. All right, let's keep going. We'll touch. The plural use is in sense of sky, probably is from the Ptolemaic theory of space as composed of many spheres, but it is also formally was used in the same sense in the singular in biblical language as a translation of Hebrew plural shamayim. Okay, heaven sent adjective is attested from 1640. Stay with me. Look at heavens, the noun, realm of the heavenly bodies. Okay, because remember, Jesus is the Son, S-U-N. I can show you multiple scriptures that it's the S-U-N, not the S-O-N. And his Father is also in heaven. So that would correlate this meaning, heavenly bodies, the realm of heavenly bodies. Remember, it also said it's like a stony mountain or covering. Okay, now watch this. Heavenly, what does that mean? Old English. Hephonic, celestial, divine. See heaven, heavenly, meaning beautiful, divinely lovely. Okay, is late 14th century, often, though not originally, with reference to the celestial music of spheres. Okay, let's keep going. It gets good. Now here, check this out. Remember I said the correlation between heaven and sky, you'll find that they're synonymous. Watch this. Circa 1200. Okay, check it out. A cloud. What did we see up top there? A covering, a cloud. That's what the heaven, that's what when they came up with these words, this is what they were meaning. This is the derivative of where these words came from. Check this out. From Old Norse, sky. Look at cloud. From Proto-Germanic, I can't pronounce that. Cloud. Here it is right here. Cloud cover. Okay, follow me. Source also of Old English, sail. Old Saxon, seal. Cloud. Region of the clouds. Old High German. Okay, you'll pick up what I'm putting down here in a minute. Look at from Proto-Indo-European root sku, to cover, conceal. All right. Upper regions of the air is attested to. Replace. Okay. Let's see. Do I need anything else from here before we move on? Sky. Okay. Phrase, the sky's the limit. You've heard that before. Let me see if I need anything else. We talked about celeste, meaning heavenly. Okay. So all of these supernatural, look at 1500, from God or heaven, from supernatural. Okay. You got all these connotations. Now check this out. So we were talking about heaven, same synonymous with sky, having to do with what? Home of God, right? Jesus supposedly came from heaven, right? As the Son, S-U-N, of God, begotten from the God, right? In the heavens, okay? Look at a covering. So in other words, the people then, where these words derived, when they came up with like mythologies and all that kind of stuff, like Zeus and all that, the clouds, or what they called the heavens, were veiled or covered. So they couldn't see above it, but every once in a while or every day, the sun would come out and then it would go away. So they called that the death, right? The rising 3 days and then die, or you know what I'm saying? Watch what I tell you. So remember, what we're talking about is the Lord's Prayer. And we established it, the first sentence, our Father who art in heaven. The our in this context is all of the disciples or people that followed after the Son or worshiped the Son, the S-U-N, okay? And the Father being the one who begot the Son, the ball, the bright light in the sky, in the heavenly vault, remember? That's the Father who art in heaven, in the cloud vault, concealed or hidden, right? Remember in the scripture, it always says that no man can see God and live, right? No one has ever seen God because he's concealed. This is what they're suggesting. Now, check this out. Our Father who art in heaven. Okay, here we go. Stay with me. Stay with me. Got you. Here's all the scriptures about Jesus being the S-U-N, the sun, like light, sun, the day star, I think he's even referred to. Heaven, we went over heaven. It's the firmament. It's a concealed area. It's hidden. It's a secret. It's a cover up. Okay. Here we go. Cloud. Did we go over this? What's a cloud? Here we go. Overspread with clouds. Cover. Darken. From cloud. From 1510s as to render dim or obscure. You know what obscurity is? Something that is hidden, esoteric, cultish, right? Look at 1590s as to overspread with gloom, cloud, intransitive sense of become cloudy is from 1560s. Let's keep going here. Let's see, is there anything else here? Rain, cloud from which rain falls. Okay, we know that. Cloudscape, let me see. Make sure I'm not missing anything. Cloudless, cloudy, cloud. Stay with me. All right, so cloud, we got it from the beginning, okay? Cloud. A noun. Violent downpour of much rain. Oh, that's a cloudburst, my bad. All right, moving on. So, here we go. Hallowed be thy name. What I'm telling you is, to break it down, that the Son is who the disciples follow. These be men and women who worship the Son, S-U-N, okay? And they're being taught how to communicate with the Son or to pray, okay? And the Father is in heaven because it's known as the Father. The entity is known as the Father because that's where they're saying the Son, the S-U-N, must have come from. Okay? Now, hallowed be thy name. What is hallowed? Did I look that up? Let me see. Hallowed. In fact, when I looked it up, they would not even give a definition. Instead, they did this. This is what came up. Desecrate. Watch this. This is actually the opposite of hallowed. So when it's saying hallowed be thy name, this would be the opposite of the antonym. This says divest of sacred character. So take one of their sacred character, strip one of their value or their character. Look, treat with sacrilege, 1670s. Look, there's the D to do the opposite of, right? Look, stem of consecrate. So you consecrate or you deconsecrate or desecrate, okay? Look, French had to profane. This is the opposite of hallowing someone's name. And there is a similar formation in Italian, but Latin desecrare meant to make holy. And that was in the Latin, with D in this case having a completive sense. Look at. I know it's got more. It should have more. No. Okay, that's cool. No problem. So hallowed be thy name. So it's the opposite of what we just read. Okay, so you make it sacred. You make the name sacred. You treat sacred. You consecrate the name. Okay. And where am I at? All right. So the sun worshipers, okay, again, are asking the sun or speaking with the sun in order to learn how to communicate with the Father. And so the Son, the S-U-N, is teaching them how to do that. And so then they say, hallowed be thy name, meaning we will reverence your name in our practice, in our religion. Okay, we will from this point hold your name sacred or the name sacred. Look, thy kingdom come. Whose kingdom come? The Father's. Okay. Thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. So in heaven. Where's heaven? It's in the vaulted sky. It's in a hidden place. It's in what did it say? A cloud vault. Okay. It's invisible. No one can see it. No one can experience it, what have you, right? So check this out. Give us this day. Now we're going to get in the meat of what I wanted to go through with you. Okay. Now that you have that context of the sun worshipers who are trying to learn how to communicate with the Father, who is the Father because they see the sun, the sun, in the morning, or when the clouds, that vaulted ceiling, that vaulted cloud cover, that doom and gloom or whatever, when it splits a little bit and the sun comes peering through, without which nobody will survive, right? You got to think about this. These were perhaps people, they're farmers and agriculturalists, but they didn't have the technologies per se that we have today. Okay. They didn't have maybe greenhouse effects and stuff, or greenhouses, right? So they depended on that sun to eat, for their crops to grow. All right. Okay. So check this out. So they worship the sun. Okay. Thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Check this out. The Father's will is being done in the heaven, right? Because that's where the sun is, the sun. They want that, what's being done there, let it be done on the earth as well. Why? Because everything comes alive when the sun breaks through the clouds, right? Plus their health gets better. Vitamin D, one of the only sources of vitamin D you can get, right? Thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Check it out. Give us this day our daily bread. Why? Because how else are you going to eat if your crops don't grow? So they're praying to the Father to send the Son so that we can eat every day. Okay. You don't believe me? Stay with me. Watch this. Here we go. This will hit home for today, and in line with this series that I'm doing here. Listen, and forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. I need you to pay attention to me. I need you to hear me. Okay. And I need you to understand me. Listen, remember who's being taught here? You remember who's being taught? It's who? The disciples who worship the Son. The disciples who worship the Son, who are going through the Son, or asking the Son, S-U-N, to teach them how to contact the Father. Is it no wonder that we're all trying to get to Mars? We're trying to find stellar life out, or celestial bodies. Where's Nibiru? We're always looking up at the sky. We're trying to find something out there. That's our greatest. It's the final frontier. How many of you grew up watching what is that? Space, the Final Frontier, Star Trek. That's the whole aspiration. The NASA. Look, they even refunded it again. Now it's called what? SpaceX. Because they're about to. All right, y'all don't believe me? Check this out. Let's keep going. So they're petitioning the Son, the S-U-N, so that they can contact the Father. All right. Now check this out. They're worshiping the Son, the disciples. So it says, and forgive us. So us are the disciples, or those who worship the Son. Why? Forgive us our trespasses. What is a trespass? Have you been following along in this series? What is a trespass? I'll do it for you. I'll do it for you. Stay with me. We're just having fun tonight. I'm just opening some doors. You like esoteric information? Here you go. What does it say? Trespass? Forgive us our trespass. Here we go. This is my favorite. Y'all got to get with this. Edamon line. Okay. So trespass. Forgive us our trespass, they said, right? So check this out. Transgress in some active manner. Commit an aggressive offense. Here it is. To sin. And if you recall, a sin is a moral wrongdoing. So these disciples, these sun worshipers, are saying to the Father of the SUN to forgive us our forgive our trespasses, which is a transgression, which is a sin. Listen, which means that you've gone beyond, you passed beyond or across, traversed. Look, you infringed, you violated. The question is, what did these particular people, these sun worshipers, what did they infringe on? What are they talking about? What did they violate? You ready for this? Look, passer, go by, pass. Look, meaning enter unlawfully. So these people are asking the Father of the SUN, the Son, to forgive them because they entered unlawfully. On key term, unlawfully. Lawfully. If you've been following in the series, I told you that there's a particular term that is in opposition to law. Do you remember what it is? If you remember, put it in the chat. I'm not going to say it. Let's see how well you've been paying attention. Enter unlawfully is first attested in Forest Laws of Scottish Parliament. The modern French descendant of Old French trespasser, remember this, has come to be used euphemistically for to die. That's what a trespass. It's a nice way. That's what euphemistic or a euphemism is, just a nice way of saying something that's not so nice. So look, trespass is a nice way of saying that someone has died. Look, trespass. It's related to a trespass. Trespassing. Look, let me see if there's something else down here in front. Look, trespass, a transgression. Sin is death. Watch. And I'm going to tell you, and a sin is a moral wrongdoing. And if you paid attention to the series, I told you that the moral wrongdoing is a breach of the moral law, otherwise known as the common law, which is opposed to legal. Are you picking up what I'm putting down? Are you picking up what I'm putting down? Nobody commented? Okay, well, I'll keep going then. All right, so check it out. Where were we? Trespass. So the prayer is that the Father of the Son would forgive them their trespasses, which is a euphemistic death, a dying, a crossing over, a transgression, a sin. How did they sin? They did something in opposition to the common law. They did something unlawful. And we're going to show you what that is. Look at, as we forgive those who do the same to us. I'm going to reveal to you who these sun worshipers are. That's why I wanted you to stick around. I feel for those who miss it, but I guess they'll catch it on replay. Unless I choose to lock this. I wouldn't do that. Maybe. Nah, I ain't gonna do that. Check this out. Let's find out. All right. You know what? I'm gonna come back to that. Let's just keep going. As we forgive those who trespass against us. And here it is. Lead us not into temptation. So they're praying through the Son, the S-U-N, to the Father and saying, forgive us for the trespasses, for the sin, for the infringement, for the unlawful acts that we committed, which are in opposition to the common law, the moral law, and forgive those who do it to us too. Look, and lead us not into temptation. What is temptation? I can't wait. I can't wait. Hold on, y'all. If y'all could just hold on. I'm about to show you right now. Look. Watch this. What does it mean? What is temptation? What does it mean to tempt? Look, circa 1200 of the devil, flesh, etc. Look, draw. I want you to pay attention to this. Draw or entice to evil or sin. What is sin? It's a moral wrongdoing, right? It's a death. Euphemistically, it's a death. Right? It's a trespass. So they're saying to the God, the Father of the S-U-N Son, don't, what does it say? And lead us not into temptation, meaning please don't allow us to be drawn or enticed to sin or breach a contract or infringe. Don't lure us that way. Look at, what does it say right here? What does it mean to tempt? To lure someone from God's law. Let me ask you a question. What did I tell you moral law was? Isn't that also known as God's law? Isn't that also known as natural law? So to tempt in this context or from this context means to draw someone away from natural law, God's law, the common law. Now, what did I tell you was in opposition to the common law? Boy, I wish more people would have came on tonight. Cooper the Trooper, you got it, my man. You got it, my man. So let me ask you a question, Cooper, since it's just really you and me. Ain't nobody else really messing with us, I guess. Well, Joseph's here. Who's drawing us away from the common law? Who's enticing us away from the common law? I'll wait. Who's tempting you from the common law, from God's law, from the natural law? Okay, I'll keep going. It's quiet out there. It's quiet. It's quiet. Look. Be alluring. Okay, Cooper the Trooper said the creditors or the feds. You can get more specific than that. I handed it to you. More specific. I'm not saying you're wrong, but it's a very specific. I hear you, Joseph. Joseph said, I'm here. I'm just busy. I appreciate you for tuning in anyways. Look at. Here we go. Here it is. Alluring or seductive. From Old French, tempter. You're going to see it clearly. 12th century, from Latin temptere, to feel. Listen to these words here. Try out. Attempt. That's a key word there. Look, to influence, to test. A variant of temptere, handle, touch, try. Who tries you? Who tries you against the common law? Who tries you against the common law? Listen, who tests you? Look, the Latin alteration is explainable only as an ancient error. I have to call him back. Hold on. Due to some confusion. Who confuses you while trying you? Cooper the Trooper, you getting close. You getting real close, my man. Real close. Listen, the Latin alteration. Okay, here, we're going to move on. from late 14th century as to provoke. Nope, not the schools, Cooper. You were closer with the police. Look, to provoke. Yeah, Joseph, I mean, you're right, but there's a people. Remember, these are followers. These are sun worshipers. I'm going to show you who they are. I was hoping y'all would figure this out by now. I gave you a key word. It's still highlighted. Who tries you? Look, let's see. Where are we at? Look at tempter. Look at one who solicits to sin. What is sin? What is sin? It's a moral wrongdoing, right? So a moral wrongdoing is a wrongdoing that's against the common law. So who is soliciting you away from the common law? Come on, that should give it to you right there. Come on, y'all. Look, that which entices to evil. Originally, especially the devil. Look, from Old French tempter. From Latin temptatum, agent noun for tempter, to feel, try out. Oh my, you guys still ain't got this yet? Nobody's got it yet. Okay, here, I'm gonna give it to you right here. Look at this, watch this. Cooper the trooper. Yes, tyrants, absolutely. But can you get specific? What type of tyrants? Who are they? Who are the tyrants? Oh, yeah. Cooper, okay. But there's another name for them. We deal with them all the time. I'm going to show you. Look at this right here. Look at this. Attempt. See, tempt is in the word. Late 14th century. Look. Seek or try to do. Make an effort to perform. Who's performing? Who's trying to get you away from the common law? They're trying you. Boy, that should be a key right there. Look at earlier, attenter, to try, attempt, test. Yes, in a way, Joseph, in a way. But I know you know the word. We do it all. We want. Okay, listen. To try. Okay, from Latin, attemptere, to try. Look. Are you seeing it? Make trial. Make trial. Attempt. Look, they try you. All right, caveman. There you go. Bing, bing, bing. If I had $100, I'd give it to you. Now you seeing? We'll go back through it and you'll see it clear as day. Listen. From assimilated form of add to toward. Okay, temptere. Okay, attempted. Don't they hold you in contempt of court? Contempt. It looks all different, don't it? That stuff's looking clear now, ain't it? Okay, look. Let's keep going. What we got? Evil. Remember, tempting you to evil? What is evil? Evil was the word the Anglo-Saxons used. Caveman's loving it now. So, okay, so check it out. I'm going to put up your comments. There you go. All right. Cooper the Trooper said, you judge. All right. I'm glad you caught up, man. Catch up, Mustard. All right. Look, Joseph. So a judge leads to moral wrong. I'm going to show you. Look at evil was the word. First of all, Joseph, if you remember, what is sin? Sin is a moral wrongdoing. You're breaking the moral law. What is the moral law? It's God's law, the law of nature, otherwise known as the common law. When you go into the courts in these, especially in these administrative courts, and you try to aver or declare the common law, how do they treat you? Because they're in opposition to the common law. Ergo, why I keep saying, legal is in opposition. It's in a rivalry with the common law. Legal is not law. It's the antithesis of the common law. And so who are the followers of this antithesis to the common law? The bar members. All right. Evil was the word the Anglo-Saxons used where we would use bad. Let's look, follow up. Cruel, unskillful, defective. This is what evil, the derivative, where it came from, its origins. This is what it came from right here. Listen, evil is misfortune, a disease, defective, unskillful. See how it took on a different meaning back then, but all of a sudden it merged into something else with a boogeyman with horns and a forked tail, or a forked tail. Yeah, a long tail, red, like Santa Claus. You know what I'm saying? It's made up stuff. Watch this. In Middle English, bad took the wider range of senses and evil began to focus on moral badness. So it switched. Whereas before, it was about misfortune, disease. If someone had a, let's say, a disfigurement or whatever, right? They used to think that that was caused by the devil. Like the devil did that, to that baby. You know what I'm saying? Like they throw the baby off a mountain and abort it because they're like, it must be wickedness. It must be evil that caused that. That's how they were. A defect. They weren't, the stories of Hitler. He was trying to purge the German race of all, supposedly and allegedly. I don't know. I wasn't there. But as the story goes, he was trying to make a perfect race, right? Trying to get rid of all the defects. Check this out. Evil favored. Ugly. See? Ugly. The adverb is Old English. I can't pronounce that. Yfel. Originally of the words or speech, also a noun in Old English. What is bad? Sin, wickedness, anything that causes, anything that causes injury, evil. Look, morally or physically. You see? That's evil. Especially of a malady. We're going to hit that word. I'll look it up. I got it up here. Don't worry about it. Or disease from circa 1200. That's what it was all about. If you were born with a disease or you had a malady or a moral or physical injury. So, look, going back, and lead us not into temptation, which lured away from the common law or God's law and crossing over into a death, a euphemistic death. They're saying to the God of the S-U-N, Son, lead us not into temptation, but look, deliver us from what? Evil. What are they asking to be delivered from? They don't want to be what? They don't want to have injuries, morally or physically. They don't want to have malady or disease. How should I put this? If you don't have vitamin D in your body, need I say more? All right. So I told you I'd look up malady for you. Here it is. This is what they don't want. These people were superstitious. That's who we're dealing with. They worshiped the sun because they feared disease. Look, here it is, a malady. What's a malady? A physical disorder. They feared getting a physical disorder. Look, or disease, late 13th century, a malady. Look, from Old French, malady, sickness. They didn't want to get sick. They didn't want an illness. They didn't want a disease. Abstract noun from malady, ill. They didn't want to get ill. From late Latin, male habitus. Look at this. Doing poorly. They didn't want to do poorly. Lead us not into temptation, into a death, right? From doing things contrary to the common law. In fact, we know we're going to do it, and we're going to tempt others to do it. To do what? To walk away from the common law and into the legal realm, the legal sphere, cross over from life, common law, natural man. Remember, that's what we're fighting today, aren't we? And they're going to be crossing over into the legal realm, which is a realm of corporations. What's a corpse? A dead body. So look at, while we're doing this dance between natural life and going into corporations, into the land of the dead, forgive us our trespasses. What's a trespass? When you commit a moral wrongdoing against the common law. So while we're doing that, forgive us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from sickness and illness while we're doing this. Because we don't want to be, what? Doing poorly. Even though we know we deserve it, because we're over here tricking people out of their money. We're taking people's homes in the name of a corporation. We're taking their cars. We're putting people in jail. I told you it'd get good. Y'all should be laughing. Y'all should be really, look, I don't want to feel sick. I don't want to feel sick. I don't want to feel guilty because of what I'm doing to these people. So, our Father, which art in heaven, look it, I don't want to be ill-conditioned. I don't want to feel bad that I'm doing this to these people. I'm just doing it because I'm good at it and I can make a lot of money. Exactly, caveman. Freedom. Look it. We're going to end. Well, do I got a little bit more for you? This is good, y'all. This is good. This is good. To give or receive. Look, extended sense of moral or mental disorder. No, they didn't say that. Remember, a sin is a moral wrongdoing, an offense against the common law. Look at what they just said. We're looking at malady. They want to be saved. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. They want to be delivered from the malady. They want to be delivered from a moral or mental disorder. A disordered state or condition. If I wasn't loving what I do, I would be really mad right now. Or upset, I should say. Look at, let's finish off with these last two. Look at temptation. There's a scripture here, James chapter 1 and verse 13. And this scripture talks about perseverance in temptation. These sun worshipers, they're petitioning through the sun god that they worship, the Helios, that, hey, speak to your father for us, or teach us how to speak to your father, because we know you're pretty powerful, S-U-N, son. So your daddy must be like stacked, you know what I mean? So could you speak to your daddy for us? Because he probably seeing everything we doing down here, tricking these people, widows, you know, CPS, taking your children away from you. Ooh. We know your father sees this because you see us. When that vaulted sky opens up and that sun ray comes through, you see us. So, man, your Father really sees us. So can you teach us how to talk to him? Because, you know, we need deliverance from the evil. Look, let no man say when he is tempted, follow, I am tempted of God. For God cannot be tempted with evil. How do we know this in light of the context, from the context of what we just discovered? Because how do we know that God cannot be tempted? Their God cannot be tempted. Because what does it mean to be tempted? What does it mean to be tempted? Of the devil, flesh. Look, for one thing, they don't believe that God is made of flesh, right? Spirit, invisible. So it can't be tempted. So don't say that you're tempted by God, because God can't be tempted. Look it. He can't be drawn or enticed to evil. What is evil? Breaking the moral law, right? Or moral wrongdoing. He can't be that. He can't do that because it's God's law. Duh, right? Okay, he can't be lured from God's law if he is God, right? All right, you get it. You get it. Let's keep going. For God cannot be tempted with evil. Duh. Neither tempteth he any man. Look, but every man, here it is. Wake up, wake up. Here we go. Look, but every man, not every corporation, not every straw man, every man, listen, is tempted, meaning what? Right? Lured away. When he is drawn away, how? Of his own lust. One of the 7 deadly sins, correct? So check this out. Don't we enter into contracts with the legal professionals and what have you? We enter into contracts for what reason? Because you want a loan. See? You're enticed through your own lust. What does it mean to lust? What does that mean? Look it up. I've done a lot of homework for you already. I got to leave some for you. But check this out. So you're tempted when you are drawn away by what you desire, what you strongly desire, what you lust after, and enticed. Then, here's the order of operations. When lust hath conceived, like a baby being conceived, the sperm being fertilized, because that's what happens. First, you lust after something like the girl, you know what I mean? Oh, she look good. You keep looking, you keep watching, next thing you know, you're like, how did I end up in the bed? Right? That's because the lust conceived, like germinated, like fertilized the seed. So now it splits and starts to grow, right? Look, it bringeth forth sin. What is sin? Immoral wrongdoing. A breach or a breaking of the common law, God's law, natural law. See? So you go into a contract because they entice you with ads, right? They give you offering, considerations. They're enticing you. Who's doing it? Well, who writes the contracts? The legal profession. All right. Then when lust hath conceived, it bringeth forth sin, moral wrongdoing, breach of the common law. When it is finished, bringeth forth death. How do we know that? Because what is a trespass? It's a sin. And what does it mean to trespass? It means to transgress, meaning you go from your natural state and you cross over into death. That's a trespass. And that is a transgression. And so in closing, I'll show it to you again. Trespass, what does it mean? Right here. enter unlawfully, which means against the law. What is the law? It's the moral code. It's God's law. It's the common law. It's natural law. When you go against that, you're trespassing. You're in a transgression. And that means that you have crossed over into a euphemistic, right here, death. So, kindly stated, your legal profession, your attorneys, are enticing you to cause you to trespass so that you'll cross over into the corporation, the land of the dead, because then you're on their turf and they are going to bankrupt you and lead you into evil. And that right there is what this was all about. You're sun worshipers and petitioning through the sun, S-U-N, to speak to the Father because they know that the Son is powerful, so therefore the Father must be powerful. And we don't want to make your Father upset at the things that we're doing here to these people. We're trespassing. We're leading into temptation, into contracts, so that we can bankrupt them and get them breach of contract. So we can get them to cross over and trespass into a euphemistic death, into a land of corporations. All right. What say you? I'll take a few questions if you want to. We've been on for quite a while, but I think this was really good. I think this was timely. I think people that don't know who their enemy or enemies are, they don't have a chance, right? How are you going to know how to fight? A lot of us, not me, but a lot of people, I should say, my brother and other people like to play video games. And what I've learned is that by watching is that they have to pick select weapons in order to defeat their nemesis, right? So they might need a plasma gun to take out the biggest guy, I guess. I don't know. I don't know all the terminology. But they might need a sharpshooter or a sniper rifle for a mere man, right? So you have to pick the weapon in accordance with the enemy. But what if you don't know the enemy? Then how can you pick the weapon? So now, you have been made free. What are you going to do with it? Do you know which weapon you need? And that's why I thought this was important to do tonight. So I'll take a few questions if you have them. Otherwise, I'll get off and enjoy what's left of my Saturday. Caveman said sexual desire. Well, yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's one. I mean, that's one. Joseph says, we're convinced that we're dead bodies led into debt. Absolutely. Absolutely. I appreciate you guys being here for certain. And you just got the golden nuggets before everybody else, basically, So Cooper the Trooper said, so basically Christianity is pagan in nature. It always has been. I mean, how are you going to convince people that have been doing this all their life, though? I mean, I grew up in it. I was born in it, literally. My mother had me at 18, okay? And she's 19 years older than me. So that's all I knew. In fact, basically, yeah, the last maybe 6, 7 years is when I stopped. I started doing my research. I started delving into this stuff and uncovering this stuff. Other than that, you couldn't tell me anything. I'd fight anybody over Jesus, over God, whatever. So Cooper the Trooper, 77, or based on astral. It's both. It's both. It's all man-made. It's all mythologies. Zeus, right? Poseidon, all the mythologies, the Greek mythology, they're Greek mythologies. The Greeks and the Romans were the ones who were supposedly killing God's people. I don't know. Seems kind of weird. Anybody else got a question? All right. Well, we've been on for an hour and 15 minutes. If you're listening to this, on replay, feel free to leave your comments as well. I know it's a different way of thinking. I do a lot of critical thinking. I'm trying to teach in our classes that we have for KnowledgeWell University. I'm trying to teach people to critically think again. Do you see the state that the world is in? Who's been in control this whole time? We all know, but most of us have resolved to say there's nothing we can do about it. So since I can't, do anything about it, I might as well not worry about it and just wait till my day of death comes. I don't get that. That's not my way of thinking. Okay. Cooper the Trooper said, do you think law schools or the bar break things down to the root like you do? Good question, man. Good question. No, they don't. They don't. Ignorance of the law is of no excuse. It's not, you have to reach certain degrees. I think you know that. In other words, my daughter is 10 years old. Okay. I know this information. I research and study it. Do I have her research and study it with me? No. But I do seep to her little pieces of information because I need to build the rungs on the ladder. I need to put the rungs on the ladder so that she can kind of make some certain decisions by the things that she keeps learning, preponderance of evidence and things like that. Because your mind is only made up by the experiences that you have. People can tell you things all day long, right? And it can even make sense. But until you experience it, kind of, not saying you have to experience everything. Like you don't have to, get shot in the head in order to know not to put a gun to your head, right? So you don't want to experience everything per se, but things only become real and you become persuaded fully, when you not only hear it, but it gets inside of here, if that makes sense, So no, I don't believe that they break things down like that. I think they give just enough. Joseph, I read the whole thing and said this was bullshit. I read the whole thing and said, I'm not sure what you're referring to. Are you talking about the Bible? Caveman, it's all Hollywood. All right. Caveman said, nope, I'm not sure what you're saying nope to. All right, so Yosef said, if you like anime, watch Utena on YouTube. It constantly talks about smashing the world's shell. Cooper the Trooper, I see you farming, planting seeds, and watering them. Yes. Constantly. The Bible, yes, read the whole thing. Now, I'll touch on that a little bit. The Bible, I wouldn't go as far as to say it's just total BS. It's just like the game of life that we're unwrapping now. Okay. It's just got hidden things in there. And it's kind of like Hansel and Gretel. Remember the story of Hansel and Gretel? They dropped breadcrumbs so they could find their way. Just like the Wizard of Oz, the Matrix, all of them little pieces, if you could put them together. See, when we were watching the Matrix back when it first came out, no one really understood it. We were just wowed and entertained, right? So we didn't get the relevance. And it took 10 years, perhaps, for us to finally start putting the pieces together. Looking at the Wizard of Oz, now you see, before you were much too young to put those pieces together. You weren't cultured. You hadn't had enough experience in life. So you it just went in one ear and out the other, and you were just entertained, and that was it. But don't you know that the writers and the directors of it knew exactly what they were trying to put out? Right. So the same thing with the Bible is my point. It's not that it's BS. It's occultic. It's esoteric. And it's been translated, and it's been dialed up and dialed down and watered down and mixed and matched and adorned and all this kind of stuff by your upper echelon, by your elites, by your pope, by the attorneys. Okay, those are the ones who write the laws, the attorneys, the bar members. So who has the control? Who will always have the power and the control as long as they're able to write the laws and as long as we're willing to follow them like blind sheep, right? All right. I got that off my chest. Wasn't a bad delivery, I hope. I hope you enjoyed it. And as usual, share this if you dare. You're going to get pushback. You're going to get pushback. But that's why I like to come from, I like the sharing on the screen. I'm glad I figured this thing out. My wife actually helped me figure it out. Because you can argue with me all day if I'm just conjecturing, I'm just talking into a microphone and looking at the camera, right? How are you going to argue with that? What I just showed you. All right, guys and gals, if you're here. I'm going to get off now. And so we'll see you on Monday if you're in the KnowledgeWell University. If not, still got room for you to sign up. I think you can look in the description. I should have put some stuff in there for any information you need. I appreciate your donations. I work hard, obviously, right? I study long, study hard. I don't study wrong. I should come up with a saying for that. But so I appreciate anything you can do in your donations. And those who are already doing that, hey, I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Anyways, I'm going to run that outro one time, and then I'm going to get up out of here. All right, y'all have a great weekend. Get some rest. We got lots of work to do, lots of uncovering, and we got to learn to apply what we learn. And now, thank you, Cooper the Trooper. And now you've been made free. What are you going to do with it?